Evolution. Without it, we would all still be puddles of Proterozoic ooze. Evolution is a rule of survival for all living things. Take away evolution and we wouldn't have opposable thumbs to use tools, or brains to create the fire from 2 sticks of wood. Without evolution, we'd stand still and die. And this is no different for the biggest and the baddest of the world's car companies. Ferrari. It's hard to show evolution during a short period of time because evolution happens over the course of hundreds, if not thousands of years. That's how long it takes for a species to grow another finger, maybe another leg, maybe just adapt to its surroundings. Luckily for us, we're not studying your average house pet. Oh no, we're focusing on something way more exciting. Talking about a company that produces dreams, and they all come in the shape of a Ferrari. If a species doesn't evolve, it simply disappears. The same thing applies to pretty much anything in life, and especially car companies. Ferrari's evolution has been happening so fast, we really haven't had a time to sit back and enjoy it. Every single year, there's new technology that gets dumped into these cars. Today, we're actually going to have a chance to look at the evolution of Ferrari. And this right here is the great granddaddy of all Ferrari supercars, the Ferrari 288 GTO. What a freaking beast. The Ferrari GTO is actually the first car where Ferrari used carbon fiber and Kevlar. It's just a little bit though, it's on the roof and on the bonnet. The crazy thing about this is, this car came out in 1985. That's about the same time when Horacio Pagani was working at Lamborghini and he was telling them work on their cars with carbon fiber. And sadly, Lamborghini just looked at Horacio and said, you know what, we're good, dude, move on. But luckily for us, Ferrari didn't. They put carbon fiber and Kevlar and the result made history. Instead of taking your morning coffee, this is what's gonna wake you up when you drive it. If anyone would have told me, just by looking at this car, how fast it goes, I would have just laughed in their face. That makes no sense. It doesn't have a big wing on the back, or even air vents on the bonnet. This right here is what I'd like to call a sleeping beauty. Not only because it's beautiful, but the power is just ridiculous. This thing is absolutely bonkers in every sort of way that you can imagine. It feels like actually a pretty drivable car, but once you step on it just a tiny little bit, the car goes, and your smile grows, and the hood just opened too. So we should probably just go back to the pit lane. For some reason, everyone thinks that the only big boy turbocharged Ferrari is the F40. But this beautiful 288 was actually the original turbocharged Ferrari. The turbochargers are amazing! Ah! This thing moves. How are we doing on temperature, gas? Everything is good. That is amazing. This is a car from 1985. With a V8 engine with only a 2.9 liter displacement and 2 turbochargers, this Sleeping Beauty produces an incredible 400 horsepower, which is mental considering the car came out in 1984. The only downside to this car right now is we have absolutely no AC. We got no ABS. We got absolutely no support whatsoever from the car. We're just driving this. Once you pick up speed, not having power steering really doesn't make a difference. It makes you more connected with the road, and it makes it that much more special than just driving a fast new car. Only 272 were produced, so to say that we're lucky to be in its presence is as redundant as saying the sky is blue or Alejandro's Mexican. I've done my homework, and let me teach you the lesson that I should have learned a long time ago. You can never underestimate Ferrari. What a monster. Thank you, David, for letting me drive this thing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This thing is your high-end sleeper, if we can call it that. But you can't really talk about speed in Ferrari language without talking about the Ferrari F40. If the 288 GTO was the great granddaddy of all Ferrari supercars, this is the really cool grandpa that everyone wanted to have, with the cool army tattoos all over his arm and also the amazing war stories that your parents didn't want you to listen to. This right here is the Ferrari F40. This is the dream car. This is the first dream car for me.
It's just me, the road, and this telling me how fast I'm going. Do I need anything else?
You cannot talk about speed without mentioning this car. And the reason why is this is the first production car to ever hit a top speed over 200 miles an hour. For the year this came out, that's a huge accomplishment by Ferrari.
I got no ABS support, I got no steering support, and I love it. I love it even though it's scary as hell. This is a one-of-a-kind experience, that's for sure. And we keep racking up the miles on this thing. And my smile keeps getting bigger and bigger.
It has a twin-turbo V8 2.8 liter, just like the GTO, but they were able to squeeze another 100 horsepower out of this one for a total of 513, making this an absolute bullet to drive.
How were they able to pull that up? I have no idea, but they did, and the car drives amazingly. It's actually really scary. Once the turbos spool up, you better have your shit together. Otherwise, you're gonna end up outside of the corner and hopefully not against the wall.
This is probably one of my favorite cars of all time, and I still have 3 more to go.
How the hell is the F50 gonna do better than this?
This right here is the big bad wolf in the Ferrari lineup. This is the Bruce Willis of all Ferrari supercars.
This right here is the F50. Oh!
This is the biggest leap that Ferrari took in its evolution. Perhaps Ferrari's closest evolution towards F1. This was the first car to showcase a true carbon fiber tub and chassis, just like they did in Formula 1. The entire body is made out of carbon fiber and Kevlar. You can actually see the carbon fiber weaved on top of the paint, which is awesome. It's the only barchetta of them all, which is basically a convertible or roadster, if you will.
I'm loving this thing. To me, this is when Ferrari reached the analog perfection.
This is also the first Ferrari with a push-rod suspension, and for the first time ever in the lineup, my favorite part, it's got a ginormous V12 engine. The noise that this thing makes, it's absolutely unreal.
That massive V12 engine on the back just making all that noise. You feel a rumble while you're driving the car that no other car will give you. Ferrari's been doing this for years, and they haven't messed up once. Holy f***.
This is the last car in the lineup with a manual gearbox, and that makes it a true driver's car.
I know. Everyone keeps saying the F40 is faster than this car, but this is just more special. And listen to that noise! Listen to that noise on the straightaway! And this right here is the why you gotta love these cars. Forget about going to space. This is all I need.
So the F50 looked, felt, and drove like the ultimate Ferrari masterpiece. Getting behind the wheel of this beast made me wonder, why would anyone want to move away from this formula? But then I remembered, stand still and die, evolve, and you get the Ferrari Enzo. This right here is one of the biggest masterpieces to ever come out of the Ferrari factory. They were so happy with this car, they even named it after the owner of the company, Enzo Ferrari. This is the Ferrari Enzo.
Oh, I get just goosebumps from saying it. It's crazy.
It's really hard actually to find a bad angle on this thing. From its nose, that it's F1 oriented and stylized for. I remember when this thing came out, and I remember reading the magazines and being obsessed with them. And yes, when I was young, there was magazines, not just iPads. I remember just staring at him and hoping so hard that one day I would have one or at least see one. This is Ferrari's most hardcore evolution towards F1 and everyday usability. This was a lot of firsts for Ferrari. This was the first time Ferrari introduced the carbon ceramic brakes to the production cars, and also they developed this car with Michael Schumacher. This was also the first supercar that I remember introducing the LEDs on the steering wheel. So when you're driving fast down the track or on the street, which is not recommended, you can definitely see when the engine redlines, and this will alert you whenever you need to upshift, totally making it a more focused driving car. But most importantly, the engine.
The best thing about this car is that V12 on the back that we saw in the F50. The noise he makes is absolutely, stupidly, ridiculously awesome. If you've never listened to a Ferrari Enzo, you might want to look into that.
If you're a big car guy and you really like the sound of big engines, please do yourself a favor and search for videos of a straight pipe Enzo. There's no more brutal sound in the world. Be sure to wear a pair of pants, an extra one, because you'll need it. This god of a car, because we need to call it that, produces 660 horsepower out of that V12 naturally aspirated engine. And we're talking about a car that came out in 2003. Even though this is the heaviest car in the lineup so far, this is by far the fastest, not even close. This car alone made Ferrari the top dog in the hypercar world 10 years ago when this came out. And every single McLaren and every single Carrera GT owner just wept themselves to sleep because of this guy.
It's actually drivable, it's comfortable, it's big, it feels spacious. Yeah, nothing inside of here is digital. I don't have a radio. My windows, I think it's hysterical too, the fact that I can roll up next to someone and I have to roll down my windows like this so they can ask me how much I paid for this car.
There's really not much to distract you from driving in this car because you're just sitting there. There's no power windows even. There's no fancy navigation screen. There's no electric seats. There's no radio even. But you know what it does have? Speed.
Listen to that! It shouldn't be legal to have this much fun. This must be how it feels to die and go to heaven and come back to earth and own a Ferrari Enzo.
I remember when the car came out, I couldn't believe the numbers that Ferrari was putting out with this. This engine was able to produce so much horsepower. It just blew my mind. I thought at that point, all right, there's never going to be any way that Ferrari's going to be able to outdo themselves and put a bigger engine with more horsepower in their cars. But as my wife always tells me, I was wrong. Alpha, the Omega, the first, the last. This is the Mona Lisa. They're Homo sapiens of cars. And this right here is the pinnacle of the technological evolution by Ferrari. The Ferrari LaFerrari. This thing is so badass, it has Ferrari on its name. A few months back, a friend of mine that owns one of these bad boys let me drive his car. I know, he let this peasant drive his LaFerrari. And I have to say, it was extremely life-changing. I was not expecting this car to be as good as it is, as raw as it is. Just look at that. This is Ferrari's masterpiece. The LaFerrari is a true collection of insane figures all around. New hybrid assistant technology with an electric motor that puts out an additional 160 horsepower on top of its naturally aspirated engine. A 6.3-liter V12 that produces a neck-breaking 789 bhp for a total of 949 bhp combined, making it the hypercar from the Holy Trinity with the most power output of the three. Brakes with battery regenerating curse technology that helps the battery motor charge up every single time you hit the brake. A push-rod inboard suspension. And we see active air for the first time in here too. And an engine that revs up to 9,350 RPMs with a top speed of 217 miles an hour. The numbers this thing puts out are absolutely insane. The speed that it can achieve, the acceleration, the braking, the suspension, the handling. So is this a prancing horse or an intimidating beast? Why don't we just find out?
Driving this fast, the numbers that this car pulls is absolutely brilliant.
But what do these numbers translate to? Getting behind the wheel of this thing and listening to that massive V12 roar, I don't think there's anything that can get a car guy with a bigger smile than this. Everyone now in the hypercar market is building smaller engines, right? Because they need to go with the times. Ferrari, thank God, has stayed true to their roots by putting a massive V12 on the back that produces an insane amount of horsepower and sounds like a dream. What's most impressive is that we hit an age where these cars don't have to be empty anymore. They actually have radios, power steering, power windows, iPod Connect, Bluetooth Connect. I mean, even navigation screens with a digital cluster, because a regular cluster couldn't put up with the speed that the car can achieve.
Car just moves. I'm not even a good driver. I need moves. Look at this.
None of that, none, can describe the feeling of getting behind the wheel of the greatest Ferrari ever built. Now, I want all of you to meet badass extraordinaire and a good friend of mine, Mr. David Lee. David was kind enough to really make my dream come true, so we've been doing all of this thanks to him.
You made my dream come true too.
No,
Yeah.
thank you, dude. Thank you so much. How did the whole thing come up?
3 years ago, I had an idea to sell my cars. Say, okay, well, I'm gonna go with a strategy of only collecting Ferraris, only driving Ferraris, and driving Ferraris 7 days a week. And so I just started to do that.
That's not a bad life, I'd say. Manual or automatic?
I'm a manual guy. I
You're a
love
manual guy.
I still feel more comfortable with manual.
So you came with some cojones, my man. Once I got into LaFerrari and I was driving the paddle shift, I was like, oh, this is so nice. I don't have to worry about anything. We're gonna cut that out, by the way. Analog steering or power steering?
The analog steering.
You like it?
Yeah, I do like it. You feel the road.
Blood or oil?
Oil.
Oil! What car do you like the most?
The LaFerrari.
Ah, that was quick. All right, we give it to you. What do you like about the LaFerrari the most?
It has all the qualities of the other four combined to one. And of course, the newest performance.
I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one because I just drove them all. Thank you again.
Well, thank you for switching the tires that I never would do on my own, but okay.
Out of all of these, what about the old ones, the analog ones? Favorite of the three?
I would say the GTO because I grew up and in high school, the first supercar for Ferrari. And it was that moment that really captured me.
Just being here at Thermal with you, being able to do this, I cannot tell you thank you enough. Is there anything you want to say before you go to people that are aspiring to one day own these cars?
Owning the Ferraris and all the toys is fun, but that's not all what life is about. You want to work hard and you want to enjoy yourself, but you got to remember to help other people.
Damn, he's a better man than I am, with the better cars than I have. Thank you so much, David. I really appreciate it, brother. No, this means a lot to me. Thank you, thank you. Now let's go have some fun.
Let's go.
Fuck this. Normally we would end the video right here and say, thank you very much, we're done. But this is not a normal video. We've been talking about Ferrari's evolution today. So why don't we just put that evolution to the test on the track, on a traditional drag race. Let's do this.
Heads up, we are gonna be ready in about 1 minute.
And first up is a battle of the two turbocharged Ferraris. The F40 against the 288 GTO. Let's see what evolution looks like on the track. And now the Ferrari Enzo will face off against the Ferrari F50 for the battle of the V12s.
I am as ready as can be. Get ready to be destroyed. It was a bad idea to get the convertible. On 3, 2, 1, go!
And now our previous winners are going to face each other, the Ferrari Enzo against the F40.
Okay, drivers, get ready. 3, 2, 1, go!
And for our last race, the Enzo takes on the pinnacle of Ferrari's evolution, the best of them all, the one to beat, the LaFerrari. While the Enzo remains one of the most awesome machines ever created, the question here is, does it have what it takes to stand up against the LaFerrari? There's only one way to find out, so let's do it.
That was the most fun I've had out of all these drag races. Just controlling the rear tires as it wants to weave left and right under power. And the LaFerrari is gone. Not a bad day at the office. Not a bad day at all.
What a day this was. I don't think I'll ever forget it. Ever since I remember, Ferrari has been #1 in the top of the game. And 30 years later, that still remains. And I think Ferrari's still there because of the evolution we just witnessed right now. They keep moving forward. They're not stopping. They keep evolving. Ferrari's more than just cars. There's their F1 heroes. There's their designer heroes. It provides inspiration to those future generations that want something, that have a dream, want to accomplish it, so they can afford one of these at some point, just like this kid did. For now, I leave you with that, and I'm out. God, I hope no one sees me pull away in this minivan. People are gonna grill me for this. And this is not the first time I'm driving a minivan, sadly.